Good evening, everyone, and you're very, very welcome to our Thursday thought for the day. I'm taking my thought for the day from Psalm 34, where it talks a lot about fear. There's different sorts of fear, and I think a lot of us are facing fear at the moment. And if we're all totally honest and truthful, it's not knowing what's going to happen. It's probably the worst thing. A lot of people are on furlough. People have lost their jobs already that I know that will not be going back to work after furlough's lifted. So we're facing very fearful times. So basically today, I want to kind of look back, going forward. Looking back to some characters in the Bible that were facing very serious and perilous times in their life. They were actually facing losing their life. And the first character is Daniel. Now, even in Sunday school days, we kind of all passed Daniel very quickly. You know, Daniel was the one that survived the lions. But think about it. He was put into a den with lions. Now you imagine how he was feeling, the fear. God sent an angel to shut their mouths. Now he had to go through that den experience. God didn't stop him from getting into the den, but while he was in the den, God was with him. God delivered him from that den. But he had to go through a den experience. And, you know, the king said, your God will keep you safe. Your God will deliver you. And God did. So today, guys, let's look back going forward. Is the God of Daniel any different from the God of Gillian? The God of Pastor Stephen? He's the same God. God hasn't changed back in those days to today, because it says in God's word, I am the same yesterday, today, and forever, and I do not change. And what God's saying to us, if I looked after Daniel, I can look after you. And then I thought about Shadrach, Meshach and Abednego. Now, these guys were bound and put into a fiery furnace. And you say that quickly again, into a fire. We're going to lose their lives. 3 men were in, bound. And when they looked in, they seen 4 men walking free. And who was the 4th man? That was the Lord. And it shows me that when you're in trouble, like they were, God actually showed up. God actually was in the fire with them. God was in the trouble with them. God is in this pandemic with us. Now, we're going through it, and we're going through these terrible days and terrible times. But what is it like for the unsaved who don't have the assurance that we have? And who do they trust in? Who do they pray to? And it's the same God yesterday, today and forever. And folks, it's been so much in my mind. When God makes a promise, he doesn't break it. The other morning, it was quite early, and I was out, I let one of the cats out, and there was this rainbow. Now, we've been up in Newtownabbey for 20 years, and I've never seen a rainbow from one side of Scrabbatar to the other. It was unbelievable. And I ran into the house, and I wakened Wallace, and I says, quick, get your camera. And he ran out to get it because he loves photography. I've never seen anything like it. And I looked up and I thought, God, that's your promise that you will never destroy the earth with a flood. And every time it rains, there's a rainbow. And I thought to myself, how amazing is that? That we break promises to each other, but God doesn't. And you see in this psalm here, in God's word, Psalm 34, I'm just going to read it here. I will bless the Lord at all times. Not sometimes, not a few times, but all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth. My soul shall make its boast in the Lord. The humble shall hear of it and be glad. O magnify the Lord with me, and let us exalt his name together. I sought the Lord, and he heard me, and he delivered me from some of my fears. He delivered me from most of my fears. No, my Bible says he delivered me from all my fears. They looked to him and were radiant, and their faces were not ashamed. The poor man cried out, and the Lord heard him and saved him out of all his troubles. The angel of the Lord encamps all around those who fear him. And that's a different type of fear. And delivers them. Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the man who trusts in him. Oh, fear the Lord, you his saints. Do we fear God? That's the only fear that we should have in our lives. God is telling us, do not fear, but fear me. So fear the Lord, you his saints. There is no want to those who fear him. The young lions lack and suffer hunger, but those who seek the Lord shall not lack any good thing. Come, you children, listen to me. I will teach you the fear of the Lord. Now, if somebody has to teach you something, that means you don't know it. So maybe, do we really know the fear of the Lord? Who is the man who desires life and loves many days, that he may see good? Keep your tongue from evil and your lips from speaking deceit. Depart from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it. The eyes of the Lord are on the righteous, and his ears are open to their cry. The face of the Lord is against those who do evil, to cut off the remembrance of them from the earth. The righteous cry out, and the Lord hears, and delivers them out of all their troubles. The Lord is near to those who have a broken heart, and saves such as have a contrite spirit. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, and that's us at this time. You know, we're all facing afflictions, but the Lord, not Gillian, not Wallace, not Pastor Stephen, the Lord delivers him out of them all. He guards all his bones, not one of them is broken. Evil shall slay the wicked, and those who hate the righteous shall be condemned. The Lord redeems the soul of his servants, and none of those who trust him in him shall be condemned. Now that there to me, folks, says it all. I can't say anything more. God says do not fear. We should not fear. We have to trust him in these days that lie ahead. He is God. He will see us through. He will keep us safe. We have to be praying. We have to be seeking. We have to be faithful in our devotions. We have to be faithful in our watching our social media. And at that point, I would personally like to thank Johnny Busby and Ken for the work that they've done in producing every Sunday. Johnny Busby has introduced me to a new world called Zoom, and he's helped me talk me through it. And honestly, thank you so much, because without this, it would be very lonely. Tough times are ahead. I don't want to be negative, but tough days are ahead and tough times are ahead. And as children of God and as the righteous, we have to put our trust in him. We've nothing else. We've no one else. The world is falling apart. Businesses are closing. People are losing jobs. We might never recover from this. Life will never maybe be the same for people. But what we've got to remember is God is still in control. And this did not take God by surprise. It took us by surprise. It took me by surprise. But God is still on the throne. And you know something, folks? He is our Father. He will look after us. He will never leave us. It says, never. Same as Shadrach, Meshach and Abednego, God was with them in their trouble. Same as Daniel in the den. He didn't stop Daniel from getting into the den. And sometimes we will go through wilderness experiences in our lives. I mean, when I think of the children of Israel, God fed them on a daily basis. He didn't give them a week's worth, a month's worth. He gave them their daily bread. And every day that we're going through this terrible, terrible, terrible pandemic, you know, I think of the families that have lost loved ones, their parents, their sister, their brother, their children, you know. It's horrific. You know, you're reading deaths and you're actually saying, oh, that was lower than yesterday. It's still deaths. People are, you know, oh, it's only 200, oh, it's 400. And you think, where are those people? The people that died, were they saved? I mean, I was talking to Doreen the other day about the nursing home that they would go and fellowship in. I mean, Doreen's devastated. She's lost people that she knows in there, a lot of people. And thankfully they were able to get in and speak to those people as well. Because you see, folks, at the end of the day, there's only two types of people, saved and unsaved. And the people that have died and are in hell today, there's no coming back. So do you know something? In these days that lie ahead, let's remember that. Let's put out a track, or let's try and do some sort of a witness to our neighbours or our friends, because they're looking to us. You know, my neighbour is fearful, really fearful. And I am too, but yet I do have a calm and a peace that I don't know where it comes from. It comes from God. And we will go through the same times as other people. We will go through the troubles, the same as the unsaved, but we have a hope. And we have a final destination where we know we're going. Eternity does not end here. We're only passing through. And I love yous all in the Lord, and it's good that we can catch up and chat. And thank you for everyone who sends texts and phones. And some days I can be having a really crazy day and I'll get a phone call, and by the end of that call I'll be laughing my head off. So thank you for that. It means a lot. And let's all just phone someone. I mean, my husband spoke, and his thought was just encourage someone you see. Just one person. And then that person will encourage someone else. So I hope you all have a great week. Stay safe. Do what you have to do. Self-isolate. And for all those people that haven't been going out, we're praying for you as well. And we love you. And we'll see you really soon. God bless.
I sought the Lord, and He answered me and delivered me from every fear. Those who look on Him are radiant, never be ashamed. They'll never be ashamed. This poor man cried, and the Lord heard me and saved me from my enemies. The Son of God surrounds His saints. He will deliver them. He will deliver them. Magnify the Lord with me. Come exalt His name together. Glorify the Lord with me. Come exalt His name forever. Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. Oh, blessed is He who hides in Him. Oh, fear